Hello, hello, and good morning, everyone. I hope you are having a wonderful Saturday morning if you are joining me live this holiday weekend. I hope everyone had a fantastic Thanksgiving and are over what is that the sleepiness that comes with turkey. I feel like that's a hormone or something like that. Anyway, I hope you are this Saturday morning fired up and ready to talk about travel marketeering. I am your host, as always, Joshua Harrell, and I get to talk about travel marketeering at most Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. if you are joining me live, or you can always watch us on YouTube anytime, the whole world via family. Search YouTube World Via Travel Network, and you can find all the past episodes of my travel marketing Saturday sessions, and you can find loads of other content. So please join us there if you have not. Now, I know that I have some regulars here, but for those of you who are brand new, if you have any questions throughout today's session, use the Q&A below. I think I did activate the chat for everybody today. So if we can try that out, good. If not, we've got the Q&A. So drop your questions in there. I'd love, love, love to answer questions. And if you are putting a question or a chat in, please give me as much detail as you can about your question. A lot of times you guys have some specifics to your business that are really, really helpful in me crafting up either my opinion or a straightforward answer. So love that. Love whenever you hear me talking about something that gets you fired up. A good TM in the chat or Q&A for travel marketeering. It's like an amen, right? When I'm preaching. Definitely share that. And we've already got Daniela in the Q&A saying, "Good morning, TM family." Love it, Danielle. Daniela, I don't know why I called you Danielle. Sorry. Daniela, so glad that you're here this morning. And if you want to be a part of the travel marketeering family, Daniela just made me think of it. Please join our Facebook group. If you search in Facebook for travel marketeering, not travel marketeer, or sorry, I just said it the exact opposite way. If you want to join our travel marketeer Facebook group, search for travel marketeers and you will find our Facebook group. And please, please join. And I see WorldVia's Director of Member Development is in the chat this Saturday morning with a GMTM. Love it, Erica. Thank you for joining the session. Erica and I, on our off time this week, have journeyed down the TikTok rabbit hole. I'm dragging her along. Anyway, welcome Erica to TikTok. So glad that you have joined us. Now that's not what today's session is about. Today's session is all about pay per click or PPC advertising. Now this is a topic that many of you have asked about. You want to know more. At our World Annual Conference, I have taught many a session on PPC and paid advertising. So I'm coming to you on a topic that I love to talk about, but I also, like many things, I have a very strong opinion about. So one thing I'll always say is I always have an opinion. So whenever you're asking me a question, I am going to give you my opinion based on the information that I have at hand, and my opinion is likely to change over time. So we just have to accept that. I think we're all human, right? But my opinion around pay-per-click advertising has changed dramatically over the last 10 years. Um, and I'm gonna tell you why I say it that way um, as we jump in, okay? Or not as we jump in, but after we jump in. Because I want to give you everything that I want you to be aware of before you start uh, doing paid advertising from the pay-per-click model. Now, there's doing advertising in your local a community paper or even outdoor advertising like bus signs, things like that, and advertising when you do event marketing and you're going to do a trade show or an expo. So there's lots of advertising out there, but specifically around pay-per-click. Um, I want to give you everything that I know so you can make an informed decision, okay, about how you're going to approach it. I I love pay-per-click. I think it has a place in every marketing plan, but I've got some thoughts on it. So I am going to share those. Robin has joined us and said hello from Massachusetts. Hey, Erica, since you are on the line, will you jump down into the chat and see if you can do a chat to everybody? Because I'd love to see if that would work because oftentimes I don't get over to the Q&A right away. So if you could test it, that would be great because if for some reason we had it shut off, I'm going to see if we can do both. If we can have Q&A and chat. But Robin, I didn't mean to go on a rant there. Uh, uh, I am so glad that you have joined. Okay, so Erica has confirmed chat is disabled, and Raj has done the same thing. Okay, well, fantastic. Never mind. Clearly, I'm not going to be teaching any classes on how to do Zoom. There we go. All right, let's jump into pay-per-click advertising. Okay, now I'd love to see in the Q&A if any of you have done pay-per-click advertising, whether that is through Google advertising or through Meta slash Facebook, Instagram advertising. So if you have done it, I'd love for you to say, yes, I've done it, and also what your experience has been with it. And I'm not talking about experience level, but what were things that what was the information you gleaned from your time either currently using it or using it in the past? So when we talk about pay-per-click, we are talking about digital advertising. We are talking about online advertising, and the big players are Google Ads and Meta, which is, if you didn't know, it's the parent company of Facebook and Instagram. Now, there are other pay-per-click programs. There are different content programs where you can take articles that you've written and you can have those distributed across news sites. And that is a pay-per-click model where you are paying every time someone clicks on your ad, or in that case, your article is your ad. So you've seen it before. You've been on a reputable news site. And then down at the bottom, there's that sponsored bar that says sponsored. And it has a bunch of articles like um, uh, how to make $1 million with cucumbers. Okay, it's that is called clickbait. I would like to make $1 million just with cucumbers. I mean, who wouldn't? And then you click on it, and then you're assaulted by a website with tons of ads, blinking ads, animated ads, movie ads, and you find out that only one person has ever made $1 million on cucumbers. And this is not, I just made that up. That is not, that it would be very clickbaity of me. Anyway, so that is also a pay-per-click model. Different media sites will have pay-per-click advertising options. Again, it's you're paying per click. And those alternative outlets, let's just call them alternative outlets, they're going to be uh, they're going to be more of a commitment, especially with a media outlet. You are going to pay for a month or several months, and you're going to get merchandise on their pages And that content, you might think that media outlet is a great, it really represents your customers. So that's why you want to get in front of them. And that can be through banner ads, or like I was suggesting with the articles, where your article is presented. Um, my only thought there is, here's one of those notes. And if I had a sound effect, it would be like ding, here's the ding. Um, I have talked about this before. When we are creating content on our website, when we're putting images on our website, or we're trying to create calls to action, those little buttons that get you to go and do the thing that you want somebody to do. Always think about how you use a website. And I would ask yourself, when I am on weather.com or AccuWeather, whatever the site is when I'm looking at weather, do I click on any of the banner ads that I see? Most people that I have spoken to don't. So if you don't, then I don't know that that's a great idea for you to run banner ads on those sites. Now, local local content, local media sites, depending on the way people use their site. And if it is that kind of hometown feel, I think you might be more apt to do that. But most of the time when we're using websites, we're using them for the thing that we're trying to do, not to find where to click to next. So that's just my little note on those alternative pay-per-click outlets. So I like to keep the conversation focused around Google Ads and Facebook. Now, because Erica has a chat or has a Q&A in there, and I did not enable the chat. The only way I can send you links is by answering a chat. So I'm going to drop in 3 links. One is very long because I did not tidy it up to just be well, let's see. Maybe I can do that. Hold on one second. Hold on. Stand by. This is live. We're doing this live. I want to give you links to how to do Facebook advertising, how to do Google advertising, because you know what? Who's the best person to teach you how to do those things? Google and Facebook. So I cannot, in 90 minutes, I could not teach you how to do all of the things, but they can and they want to. So their programs are really, really good. And I'm not just saying that. They are really good for breaking down how to use their platforms in its current iteration. So I always would joke with team members who would say, "Oh, I'm going to work on ads, and can you help me? Can you guide me through the process?" And I would be very, very upfront and honest with them. Let's do it together, because almost every single month something changes. They get better. Both platforms get better, or they maybe move things around a little bit. So I can navigate my way through them, but I can't just say, okay, first you do this, second you do this. That is not something I am not up on all of that, but you know who is? Facebook and Google. So I'm going to give you links to how to do Facebook ads, how to do Meta ads, and how to do Google ads. And then I'm also going to give you a link to our the World Via marketing campaign template, and it's the annual campaign template. And I shared this. I guess it's been a few weeks back. I've shared this before, and this is a Google sheet that when you open it, it's going to say, do you want to save a copy? Yes, you do want to save a copy. And you need to be logged into your Google account in order to do this, just so I can avoid any questions in the future. But you do want to save a copy because that's your copy. I don't want you to mess with my copy, right? So it's your copy. But it's a really simple template that I suggest everyone uses. One tab is your annual campaign, and it just helps you brainstorm. What do you want to talk about this year? Uh, and beyond, you could do a 2-year marketing annual campaign plan. And it gets you to think about how much do you want to spend on it, what is your focus? And then there is a tab that you can duplicate, there you go, on how planning your in each individual campaign. And I'm going to tell you, this is not just something that I'm throwing at you, like maybe you use it, maybe you don't. And yeah, it's just a bunch of words on a page. And I'm going to drop this into Erica's chat there so everybody can see it while I'm talking about it. Um, but the planner tab, it has some dummy information in it just so you can get inspired with how you might answer the questions or how you might fill out the form. But it really does a great job of answering all the or prompting you to answer all the questions that you should be able to answer before you're doing any type of campaign. It doesn't apply to every single campaign that you do, but by asking yourself these questions, you are going to be really, really prepared for a paid campaign or an organic campaign. It's really going to help you hone in on the things that you need to focus on. So I just dropped that in. So the first link is to the campaign. Again, it's going to ask you, do you want to save, or you'll need to log into your Google account if you have not. And you do want to save. You want to save it because that's your document. You can do whatever you want with it. If I had opened it up and just brought you into my document, you would change it for everybody, and that would not be a good thing. And then I've given you the Google Ads how to and the Facebook Meta how to advertise. So you've got some links. Uh, please use those. It should be pretty helpful for you. But today our conversation, I'm going to add a lot of color. I'm going to add a lot of the things I wish I had known, the things that I have learned, and really help you figure out where does PPC fit into your marketing program. And it does have a place. Okay. Now I'm going to pop over to Daniela. She had a question in the Q&A. Again, if you guys have any questions or comments, or just want to throw a TM in the chat in the Q&A, go down below and drop that in if you are joining live. Daniela said, I've done Meta and gained followers, likes on my Facebook page. Daniela, perfect segue into what I was going to talk about next. So I'm so glad that you have used it, and I'm glad that you've seen results. Now, here's what I want to talk about with your the meta universe of advertising options. It's all of these platforms are really easy to get started on. Okay. Uh, at the end of the day, always remember what a business is in business to do. And that is not, they do not have altruistic ideas. They are trying to get you to spend money. So they make it super easy to use their platform. Okay. If you've ever posted anything on Facebook or Instagram, gives you that option. Do you want to boost this post? Do you want more people to see this? You can answer a few questions on demographics, but what do they want to know? How much do you want to spend per day on this? And how long do you want to run this campaign, right? Really easy. Google Ads does the same type of thing. Um, so it's very easy to use, but you have to be realistic about the outcomes, okay? Now, for Daniela, she used it to get more eyes, more followers on her page, okay? And that means, especially if she got followers, not just people who viewed her page, but people who followed her, that means that she is building an audience that then she can market to directly without having to pay for it. Okay. That is a very clear objective. I'm going to run this ad so I can get more followers on my page. Another objective like that, where Google ads and Facebook ads can do very, very well, is getting subscribers to your email list. Okay. That is another way that you can get uh, more of an audience that then you can market to directly. So, yes, there's a cost for you to get those eyes, those followers, those subscribers. But then the benefit is that you've got them in your free audience that then you can communicate with, which is super, super beneficial. Okay. But you do have to be realistic about it. If I'm going to spend this money on this ad to get followers on my page or get people to subscribe to my mailing list, that is not going to result in immediate sales. So when you look at the return on investment, the ROI, it's not going to be, I'm going to say apples to apples here. I'm going to spend $100 here and I'm going to sell a Regent Seven Seas cruise. It's it's not going to happen like that. Okay. And you do have to be really realistic. You have to be really, you have to be realistic about that. Okay. Now, if you have created great content, okay, if you are really proud of this content and you have 17 followers on your Instagram page, um, those 17 followers are going to really enjoy that great content. But that might be an option, an opportunity for you to boost that post and get more eyes on that content. Okay. That content, with everything that you do, uh, that content that you create is it's going to have it's going to have benefits through the life of your business, right? The whether it's just on your social media channel or if it's also on your website, it's going to live for a long time and it's going to benefit you. But when you first put it out, you might want to get more eyes on it. And that is excellent. Give people a glimpse, open the doors, give them a glimpse into who you are as a business and how how what it would be like to be advised by you. Okay. Love that. Open up the doors, let them in, let them see what it's like. Don't wait for someone to call you and for you to go have a consultation for them to see what it's like to work with you. You want to be really transparent. This is opacity is not your friend when you're trying to draw your audience in. You need to be extremely transparent and let them see. And that's how your content will really serve you. Now, like I said, get more eyes on it using something like boost your post on Facebook and Instagram. Very, very helpful. Now, I can get a lot of people to my Facebook page. I can get a lot of people to my content that I've created. You always have to have a capture mechanism. Otherwise, it's you just got a bunch of eyes. There's no action. So you need to have a call to action. Now, that call to action could be join my email list. And I've talked about email list before, and I don't know why I don't have that at the ready, but sign up to get email goodness, weekly email goodness. Have some call to action around joining your email subscriber list. Okay, just don't call it a subscriber list or newsletter list. I should have those at the ready, and I don't have them. I don't have my example at the ready. But if if I'm going to get people to my blog, say, and I've got a great article with lots of photos, I need to make sure that I've got a way for them to subscribe. Or I've in the article, I've got links to other articles and pieces of content within my website to keep them there, to keep the person engaged. Maybe I have an inquiry form about how you too can experience the Caribbean unlike most on a Regent Seven Seas cruise. I'm really about Regent right now. I don't know. Maybe that's because we just had our diamond voyage on there. Anyway, sorry, I digress. But make sure that before you are going to create or pull the trigger on doing advertising, that you get people, you've got ways to capture that traffic. Now, let's set expectations. You can get hundreds, even thousands of people to go to your website. However, many of them are going to bounce. And a bounce is when someone does not stay on your page long enough to really absorb the content. And you've done it before. You've clicked on that link because you were searching for something. You clicked on it and then you were like, that's not the site at all. So I bounce. And that is calculated. Google calculates that, and it's a part of Google Analytics. It'll show you how many what percentage of traffic bounced on your site. And bouncing is not good. It means that somebody has come to your website and your website did not serve what they thought it was, so they got out of there really fast. Now, it's not good, but you take the good, you take the bad. You take them both, and there you have the facts of life. Okay. When you are doing paid per click advertising, you're going to get people who are bouncing on your site, and then you're going to get people that stay on your site. Who do we want? The people that stay on your site. Okay. Anytime you are running a pay-per-click campaign, your bounce rate is going to go up on your website. I know you're like, I don't want that. It's bad. It is bad, but it goes with the territory. Okay, you're going to have a higher bounce rate. So when you're evaluating the traffic that comes to your website, whether it's to a blog or whether it's to a landing page, wherever you're sending them to through your ad, um, you're you're going to look at a time period when you weren't running ads, and you're going to see that bounce rate is very, very low. And then you're going to go to a period where you've got ads running and your bounce rate is really, really high. Now, compare and contrast, the same with number of leads. How many leads did you get before you were running ads? And how many leads did you get when you started running ads, right? So I more than likely, you are getting more leads when you're running ads than when you're not. Okay. But the traffic is going to look different. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of that, because I had an executive once say, "Oh my gosh, our traffic on our website is awful. The bounce rate is so high." And I had to remind them that we were spending a lot of money to get people to our website. So the bounce rate is going to be bad. Now, what was not factored into the conversation is we doubled the number of leads that we got from our website, this awful website that we had. It wasn't the website's fault. That's the nature of advertising, especially the pay-per-click advertising. So anyway, I just want to make sure that you're aware of that. That might not be even something that you might not even be looking at your website traffic in Google Analytics. And I don't want you to feel bogged down with that. That once you start doing advertising, you have to know all of the stats on your website. I mean, I would love for you to, but you don't have to. If you are somebody, or maybe somebody on your team is the person who is monitoring website traffic and Google Analytics and all that performance. I just want to make sure that that's a part of your awareness, that this is what happens with advertising. Now, I want to pop over. Robin is blowing up the Q&A here. Robin said, followers on Facebook does not necessarily mean sales. Daniela, did they convert to sales? Yes, that's exactly what I was just talking about. So again, getting followers onto your Facebook page does help build, just like your email subscription list. It helps build the free audience that you can market to. So there is a benefit to that. However, I'm always going to go back to email marketing is the end all be all, because with followers on any social media platform, they they are subject to that platform. So if that platform starts to fall out of favor, then you can't take them with you, right? It's gone. They've dropped off. If you can turn those followers into email subscribers, then you're onto something. That is something that then you've got them until they unsubscribe from your list. So there is a benefit to building that audience because you're going to have that free audience that you're no longer paying for that you can convert in the future. But it is a long game. It is not an immediate it's not an immediate connection. Let's see here. Yeah, Robin, thank you. She gave me. I have talked about this before. Don't say join my email list. Ugh, that is so boring. So Robin's got a downloadable email to get a packing list for your next trip. Thank you. Now that is a downloadable. She's offering something to deliver to the person who subscribes. She needs to include there, and then you'll get weekly or daily, whatever the frequency is, emails from me that do da 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 da. Like you got to really sell it. But yes, having a call to action that is delivering something immediately of value is extremely helpful. And Robin, I'm thinking she said, LOL, I love that show. And I think that was my reference to The Facts of Life, which is something that I reference music a lot through a lot of my presentations. Okay, so we're talking about the immediate fix of doing pay-per-click, getting followers, getting visitors, but making sure that we're very realistic about our expectations. If we don't have a way to capture them, then this is how it goes. If you when you are doing pay-per-click, you are turning on the faucet and water is flowing. Water meaning traffic is flowing to either your Facebook page, your Instagram profile, your landing pages, your website. The traffic is flowing. The moment you stop, that traffic stops. So you whenever you are activating paid advertising, you have to be aware of that. It's not going to, so you're not going to get all this traffic and then you can turn it off and then that traffic is still going to flow. It is just like a faucet. I'm going to turn it on, I'm going to turn it off. It's do you have everything in place to capture those people that are following those links, following those ads? Interestingly enough, and it shouldn't be a surprise to you, that everything that you need to make your pay-per-click campaigns successful is everything that you need to have for all of your marketing. You need to know who your audience is. You need to write compelling copy. You need to use great images. You need to build content that is sticky, that people want to consume. You have to have uh, those capture, those call to actions, those ways for people to convert. Converting meaning going from an unknown visitor to a known visitor. You have to all those things. Those are that we've been talking about those in every single session, whether it's been about email campaigns, social media, using social media platforms to build your audience, your blog. We've been talking about all these things. Who are you trying to target? What do you want? What is going to be attractive to them? How do you capture them? And then how do you market beyond that initial advertisement? So, or if it's not an advertisement, it's even just the organic listing of your site when someone is searching on Google. So these are they apply to everything. So everything that we've been talking about in terms of travel marketing is all about creating those systems, those marketing systems, so you can market your product, your service through a system that you can tweak. This didn't work. Let me tweak this. If this did work, let me turn it way on up. So the things that you're doing in building your website out, creating content for your business, all of the things that you should be doing apply to your pay-per-click campaigns. And the reason why I want to say that is it is very, very distracting. It's very distracting. You are in a place where you don't have, the phone is not ringing, your email is not blowing up with inquiries. You barely have anyone visiting your website. And you can totally justify spending a couple of $100s on Facebook ads, just so you can get people and so you can see that they've been to your website, or you can see that they've commented on your post or they've liked your post. That feels good and it's highly justifiable. You can build that case and you can win that case every single time. Having traffic now is better than not having traffic. I mean, that seems pretty obvious, right? However, don't fall into that trap. You gotta pull yourself out of that trap. It is not going to serve you. You have to have identified who you want. What type of person do you want? What type of person is going to be the right client for you? And then figure out, how do you get in front of them? And how do you get in front of them? Is it Google Ads, where I'm using search engine terms, what people would search for? Is it creating content on Instagram and Facebook that compels people to enter my world? It just, where do I find them? How do I find them? How do I find those people? But I've got to know who I'm looking for. I need to know, I need to create compelling copy. Those are the words that you use, the text that you use in your ads or your posts. I mean, it's all, whether you're doing organic social posts or you're doing paid social posts, they're still social posts. So you're using copy, you're writing copy that speaks to that audience. If you don't know who the audience is, then you're writing words to the masses. And if you're writing to everybody, guess what? You're writing to no one. So you have to be really clear and know whether those are your buyer personas or your customer avatars that you speak to on a regular basis when you're writing your blog or you're writing your emails, or is it a subset of your buyer personas, customer avatars, that you are trying to maybe expand your audience, because maybe there's a niche group that you've put together that you're trying to target. You have to know who that is so you can write that compelling ad copy that speaks to them. Then always have, I just was talking about the capture mechanism. Number one capture mechanism for your website is a landing page. A landing page is different from what we'll call a website page. Okay. Your website page is a part of your living, breathing website, and it is evergreen. It's a part, you're building your footprint on the web, and pages for people to consume online, which is a beautiful thing. You want to take up as much space with your website as you can. But on a website page, normally you have your top navigation where you can move around the site. You also have your your footer navigation at the bottom of the page where you can navigate around your site. That is different from a landing page. A landing page, you strip out all of that navigation. And I'm sure you've experienced it if you don't have landing pages yet. I'm sure you've experienced it where you've clicked on an ad. It might be for, let's take a wireless provider like AT&T. AT&T Wireless. I mean, AT&T has a website, right? You can go to that website at any time. However, you might be clicking on a special offer, and you're like, oh, I want to learn more about that special offer. You click on that special offer, and that page has video, it has images, it has testimonials. But if you notice, doesn't have contact our support center. It doesn't have learn about our new products. Da, 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 da. It doesn't have all the navigation that their main website has. Why do they do that? Because a landing page is focused on one call to action. What do you want somebody to do? And through that landing page, it is referenced several times in different ways each time. It might be a form at the top. It might be a button a little bit later that takes you back up to the form. It could be just different ways to get you to do that action. And it could be, like I said, filling out a form, or it could be downloading that packing list that Robin was just talking about. It's very, very hyper focused on one action. Why? Because if you give human beings choices, they can get flustered and then they can just give up. Or if you give them choices, they can end up doing the opposite of what you want them to do. So a landing page is very, very effective and it's part of the ecosystem of a pay-per-click campaign. Or even, like I said, everything that we talk about, it applies to everything that we do. But you can use a landing page for that group that you do every St. Patrick's Day to Ireland, which I don't know if anybody does that, but I have a feeling that's got to be a hot mess to put together because I imagine there's a lot of people trying to go to Ireland during St. Patrick's Day. But I digress. Sorry. Um, I know people do it and they probably do it really well. I think that that would be a nightmare to try and pull off. But anyway, again, I digress. So if you have that group though, and you want to promote it, yes, you can have a page on your website about it, but having a landing page, which gets them right to an inquiry form, that is going to be even more effective in your social posts. So instead of sending them just to your website, go to joshuastravel.com. Well, if I do, how am I gonna find this thing? Now, maybe you have a big banner on your homepage of your website to help get them to this landing page. That's another effective mechanism to use. But why make it that hard? Just send everybody to the landing page that has the one thing that you want them to do, and that is fill out a form to learn more or download my info kit. I mean, that could be something that you do because maybe filling out an inquiry form might be too much of a big step. We might not be there. Our relationship might not be there yet. So maybe you just have something where it's a deliverable, like Robin was suggesting, but gets them into your marketing so you can eventually get them into that consultation or to maybe even put a deposit down. Just saying, create those ways for people, those unknown people, to become known to you. And once they become known to you, then you can market away to them, whether it's about that specific thing that you were able to attract them with, or it might be just getting to know you a little bit better. So then they can do business with you. They can get a feel for the flavor of working with you, and they can make the decision to start to work with you. Sorry, I got myself all tripped up in that. Now, so let's talk about so we've talked a little bit about Facebook and Instagram. Same thing applies with Google. With Google Ads, you've got loads of different options, and don't get overwhelmed with the options. Both Meta and Google make it very, very easy for you to get started. They make it so easy that you can spend a lot of money and spin your wheels. So as long as you've got this ecosystem created where you've got the content that is attractive. You've used the copy, the words that sell, that really speaks to your target audience. You've created those landing pages, those call to actions that will connect people with you so you can continue to communicate with them. And then you've also, one thing I didn't mention is I kind of in a roundabout way I was mentioning it. Uh, what it's one thing to capture them. The next step is to continue to communicate with them. So if you can automate marketing nurture campaigns, email campaigns to those people once they become known to you, that is a beautiful ecosystem that is on autopilot. So whether you're doing just organic content that you hope people find, or you're paying to drive traffic to get them to convert, if you've created this ecosystem of being able to capture them and then continue to nurture them, that's a beautiful thing. That's the perfect scenario. So if you got that all in place, then getting started with either platform, again, it's super easy, but make sure you have all that in place, because otherwise you're going to spend a lot of money very fast, and you're going to say, oh, I wish I had done. Don't do that. Make sure you've got everything all set up. But what I was going to say about Google Ads is there's so many options. They've got so many different types of advertising, banner ads, YouTube ads. There's just so many options. But the base level advertising is search engine, keyword based or keyword phrase based. So the phrases that people use when they're searching for the thing that you want to present them. So that is the base. That's how Google Ads got started, and that continues to be a huge, huge driver for businesses all around the world in order to get people to their site. Now, there's branded keywords, which I have not found a lot of benefit in, because if I am searching for my business, I should be able to find my business based on the content that's on my website. So my website after about 6 months should be discoverable if somebody is searching for my business's name. Should be. Now, the only time it would not is if Google has not yet indexed the website, or if you have a business name that's very common, and there are other businesses like that, whether they're in travel or not. If you Busy Bee Travel, let's just say, I'm sure there are lots of companies that have Busy Bee in their name. So you'd be competing against those different businesses. So branded using your company name as a keyword that people are searching for, and that you're bidding on that traffic to come to your website from people searching for Busy Bee. Um, that might be beneficial in that situation, but if that's the case, I would probably look at this might be an opportunity for a rebrand, because you don't want to have to pay for people just to find your website based on the name search. Okay. Most people are not searching for a business's name. They're searching for the benefit of that they're looking for, what they're trying to fulfill. So they're searching for something like family vacations to Europe with young kids, something like that. So they're searching for what the desired outcome, right? And that's where these search phrases come in handy, that you identify who, again, from that target audience that you're trying to reach, what are they searching for? And then what are the keyword phrases that they're using? And then those are the phrases that I would use to in my search ads. And very, very easy to create a title and a description on those Google search ads. Again, very, very easy to get started. But where I send them and what the capture mechanism, the nurture campaigns, if I don't have all that in place, then I'm just getting people to visit a site and hope that they take action. I'm not making it so easy for them to take action. I'm not making it I'm not compelling them to take action. So you have to think about that before you get started, but very, very easy to get started there. Now, I see Daniela has a question. Do you recommend creating a landing page with details about your newsletter to encourage sign up? So, Daniela, I will say yes. Creating a landing page about your newsletter is a beautiful thing. Creating a landing page about your group that you take to Ireland during St. Patrick's Day, and then also talking about your newsletter, that's not a good idea. Keep it really focused on one thing. So a newsletter is doing a newsletter landing page is a great idea, especially if you want to build up that audience based on the content that you plan to deliver or that you do deliver. Okay. There are media outlets that's what they do is get you to sign up for their email list. That helps them build their audience. But that landing page that they've created is all about all the amazing benefits of signing up for that newsletter. So that's brilliant. It's something that you could even look at different newsletters. There's newsletters that people pay for. I've seen ones for investors that, if you want to get that insider information, you pay a subscription to get this newsletter. That is a high value item. But you could look at those to see how people are marketing those investor newsletter subscriptions because those got to have to be pretty compelling, right? They've got to have a big promise. Man, I've never been so excited to have an email in my inbox. I'm going to pay for it. Wow, that's pretty major. So that would be a great something for your swipe file, something that you go and grab and then figure out how you can tell that same compelling story about your newsletter. And then wherever you reference your newsletter, point people to that landing page. Make that landing page the number one expert on your newsletter. That's brilliant. But trying to put in multiple messages in a landing page about something specific that you're trying to sell or communicate, adding something about your newsletter, not a great idea. However, there's a caveat if you have, and most platforms have this, email platforms have this, you can set a pop-up to come up when somebody is indicating when they're taking their mouse and they're moving it up, like they're going to X out or they're going to go up into the bar and change, search for something else. That is an exit indicator. So on exit indication, it can present a little pop-up to say, "Hey, before you go, sign up to get my packing list, and in addition to that, I'll send you weekly emails about my trips to Ireland or Europe, whatever it is." That right there, that's pretty effective. And you will find using that technique is a great way to capture those people who were like, I'm not really ready to fill out a form about this specific trip in 2025. But I like what they had to say. I like their style. I like Daniela's personality. I got to see on the video she put on the landing page. I'm gonna sign up for this email, this downloadable and to get her emails because I want her in my world. I want her in my world. So using something like that, not necessarily confusing the message on your landing page, but having a way for people to subscribe to your newsletter if they are abandoning the idea of whatever it is that you're sending them to on the landing page. I hope that's helpful. And if you don't have that ability with your email platform to do a pop-up when somebody indicates that they're going to exit the page, don't worry. You could just as easy to add a little bar at the bottom of your landing page that says sign up to get the downloadable or to get my emails. Uh, you can have that call to action. That wouldn't be bad, especially if it was down at the bottom. But those pop-ups, people are like, "Oh, I hate pop-ups. Pop-ups are awful." Those are the same people who tell me that email marketing doesn't work. And I'm sorry, the truth is that email marketing works and everybody needs to get over it and they need to send emails. Stop messing about with that. Like for real. let's stop messing around with it. I swear I hear it all the time. Like, oh, I don't want to junk up people's inbox. Well, Sephora doesn't care about that. Macy's doesn't care about that. Every Amazon doesn't care about that. Emails work. Sorry. Ooh, I got it up in the pulpit on the email. Sorry about that. But pop-ups do work. Every time I've put a pop-up on that exit, basically, hey, they were on the website, they did XYZ, and then there's a little pop-up that says, hey, get my emails, my email goodness. Again, I can't riff on my creative ideas on ways that you can join the my email list. But every time I've done that, email subscription has gone up 75% of what it would be without that type of mechanism. So they do work. Yes, pop-ups can be annoying, but we're kind of used to them. I mean, it's but as a collective group, humans are used to pop-ups. Just make sure that there is a reason for you to take advantage of that and put your email in that little box. And it could be on a lot of e-commerce sites, it's 15% off. Get 15% off if you shop now. I mean, that works. I have created accounts on e-commerce sites that I was just doing a flying visit. But that 15% off promise, that was helpful. Or download to get this packing list that you must have when you're going to Africa. Okay. That's very easy. Of course I want that. That's a no-brainer. Let me put my email address in there. So definitely works. A good way to build your email list, and it can be attached to a landing page that is about something very specific. And it's just it's like a little fail safe. If I didn't get them on the one offer, let me at least get them on the email subscription, and then I'll work on converting them over time. So again, make sure you have all that in place. All right. I will keep going down different tangents if I don't stay on track. So I've got my little notes over here. So something that has happened to me over and over and over again, and I wish to goodness that I had just been smarter about it, and I was not smart about it. I pulled the trigger on advertising. I said, you know what? $15 a day, I can afford that. Let me let that run. Let me see what that does. And then I'll determine if I want to go up, if I want to spend more, want to spend less, or I want to stop. So I created a campaign, let it run. I didn't have all the things that I've just been talking about. Again, that comes from a lot of mistakes that I have made. So I'm giving you that for free. Don't go through those mistakes. But something I did very, very wrong is and it started small. I want to say it could have even been $10 a day. It was a very, it was a very nominal amount. It was still money, right? But I forgot about it, or I just got distracted. And a few weeks went by, and then all of a sudden I got a charge notification on my credit card. Both platforms, both Google and Facebook, um, set a threshold. They're not charging every single day. I want to say it might be at $50 or it might be at $200. It might depend on how much, if you've worked with them before. So they're charging your account, but not necessarily charging your card until it hits that threshold. So I was thrown off when my $10, let's say it was, became $200. I wasn't paying attention to the $10 activity. There was nothing that was signaling that. But when I got that charge for $200 and I realized that I had not gotten any inquiries, then all of a sudden I got into a little bit of a panic. So the lesson here was is if you are going to do advertising, and this kind of falls out of I mean, it's still a system, but it's not the set it and forget it that you'd want it to be. If you're going to do advertising, especially if you're just getting started, um, you're going to have to check in every day. Every day. Both platforms are going to tell you how many people have seen the ad. That's the number of impressions. And it's also going to show you how many have clicked on the ad. That's your click through. Okay. So those measurements help you understand how many people are seeing this ad. And the ad could be keyword phrases where you're giving them on a search engine result page where it's got the big title and the description. It could be that type of an ad on Google, or it could be a Facebook ad where it's click to learn more, or click to read this article, or click to call. I mean, click to chat with us. There's definitely different options. But the impressions is showing you how many people are being presented with this ad. The click-through is showing you how many people have actually clicked on that to go to your website, or go to Facebook has something called, and Instagram has lead forms, which are very, very helpful because they pop up forms within the platform. And in some cases, depending on the user's settings, it'll automatically populate with their contact information. So it makes it really easy, especially on mobile, for you to send your information to that company to get more information, whether that is for a downloadable or it is for a consultation. So those are called lead forms. I highly recommend them if your ad is strong enough and has there's a compelling offer. Spots are limited on our tour of the Cotswolds in England in April. Okay. Uh, 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 Complete this form, and somebody on our team will contact you and fill you in on all the details. I don't know that that's great. I think that needs to be workshopped a little bit. But those lead forms, super, super helpful. So it's going to show you how many people, the click-through is showing you how many people are clicking on that ad to do whatever the action is, whether it's a lead form or it's to visit your web page or your landing page, right? Um, so what do those numbers tell you? Well, if my ad is being presented to a lot of people, but the click-through rate is really, really low, then it means that there's an audience for whatever I've targeted. I've found the audience, but my ad is not compelling enough to get them to click through, or it isn't clear what the user might receive. It's something to I don't know, it's noise. And don't get me wrong, there are ad agencies that create spend thousands of dollars creating ads, and they get a lot of impressions, but not a lot of click-throughs. So it's something that everyone has to be extremely mindful of. What's being presented? Is it compelling people to click through? Now, in most cases with Google and with Facebook, it's going to be presented to thousands of people. Okay. Um, do not expect a click-through rate of, I mean, I would be really, really happy if I had a click-through rate of 7%. That would make me ecstatic to have that kind of a result. Now it does depend on the size of your audience. But in most of those platforms, 7% would be amazing. And that I'm not basing that on, if you were to search right now, what is a good click-through rate on Facebook ads? That's not what I'm looking at. I'm telling you based on my experience, 7% would be amazing. Less than a percent, I've got real issues. So that's really where I look at the creative, the ad itself, and say, okay, how can I make that better? Or do I need to refine the audience to make sure that the people who, all these impressions I'm getting, they are seeing my ad and it speaks to them. I might have been too broad with my audience. There's so many factors, and this is where making the decision to use pay-per-click is it's not something you should take lightly. Bleh, I can't speak this Thanksgiving weekend. Don't take it lightly. It's something that you're going to have to be very, very engaged with. You're going to have to look at the numbers and look at these stats and start to create hypothesis on how you can make it better. It's the same way you would evaluate your entire marketing system. It's exactly the same. But in this case, you've got money on the line every single minute, every single hour, every single day, money is getting spent. That adds a lot of pressure. So make sure you've got all your marketing systems set up, you know who your audience is, you've got compelling content, you've got compelling CTAs, calls to action throughout your site, you've got the nurture campaign set up, you've got your CRM set up so you can manage the relationship of all these people that are maybe just a part of your audience, or are leads that are active opportunities that are interested in a trip or whatever you're promoting at the time. Make sure you've got all that set up because the way that you monitor your advertising is the same way you monitor the flow of traffic on your website, the people who call or people who schedule a consultation with you. It's the same things that you're evaluating. You have money on the line, and you want to make sure that you're being mindful of the money that you're spending, and that it's going uh, in the right direction. Now, you might challenge me on those impressions. Oh, 11,000 people have seen my company's name, and that is beneficial to me. No, it's not. It is not. That is not how it works. And think about all the ads that you see as you're scrolling through TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, um, uh, online. I mean, not online. All of those are online. On Google, you see ads all the time. You don't remember their names. Now, if you see something, there's a jewelry store. It does like costume jewelry for men. Man, they are all over my feed. They can tell that I am definitely their audience. They have spent a fortune. I know they have spent a fortune to be in my feed as much as they are. So yes, I now know the name of that company. Um, and yes, when I am in the mood for bedazzled teeth necklaces that look like teeth everywhere, um, I will know the name of the company that I'm going to look for. But that's not going to work for your travel agency. It's just not going to work. Um, if if you are so niche, somebody might write down in their journal your company's name, but we're bombarded with so many different messages. It's just not going to be effective. You really want to stay with the tried and true ways to get people to click on your content and fall into your marketing ecosystem. Don't 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 just go for brand awareness, thinking that's going to serve you. You're going to spend a lot of money, and the payoff is, I would be very shocked if you see the payoff. Be hyper focused. If you're going to spend the money, make sure that there is a very, very specific message that you're trying to communicate and a very specific call to action on the other side of when someone engages with your ads. It's going to be well worth it. So don't feel like you have to go into a paid campaign right away. You started your agency, you've set up the phone lines, you've set up your website. Now you're going to do paid advertising. If you do not have something that is attractive and hyper focused, sending them to your homepage your main page of your website is going to I have not seen it in the travel agency space work, unless it's an online travel agency. That's a different story. If I can start to book from that platform right there, then yes, that could work. But most of the travel agency owners that I work with, that is not their business model. So it's not going to be the thing that is going to result in a good return on investment. Okay. So lots, I know I'm giving you lots to think about. I am very well aware of that. Like I said at the very beginning, if you've got any questions that you want me to specifically address around pay-per-click advertising, drop those in the Q&A because we've got a little bit of time left. I'd love to talk specifics with you about your business and where you're at with your pay-per-click campaigns or the decision to do pay-per-click campaigns. I'd love to address those specific questions. So drop those in the Q&A. I'd love to talk about that. Again, go back to you got to know your audience, uh, have a very clear objective and a budget to, if you're stepping into pay-per-click advertising, you need to know how much you're going to put into this um, to feel comfortable. You don't want to overextend yourself. This should be a supplement to your marketing. And you're looking for that return on investment. So you're going to you're going to monitor the performance of your ad campaigns, and you're going to ensure that you're getting results that you feel comfortable with. And this is when we talk about marketing systems, turning things up when they're working, and tweaking the things that tweaking the things that aren't working and turning up the things that are working. And I go back to the faucet analogy of you're going to get traffic to your website doing advertising uh, as long as you're paying for it. Once the faucet is turned off, it's off. But the paid advertising model and how you monitor the performance, it is exactly how you'd be evaluating what you're doing in your marketing ecosystem today. It's like I said, it's got the sense of urgency of this money that you've put towards it, that it becomes front of mind. Like I said, when I was running ads, oh, I'm going to just do $10 a day, and then $10 became $200 pretty fast, and I wasn't paying attention to was I getting the results? Um, so the when you are measuring this and you've got this budget, you are going to get to a place where maybe you're going to up that budget because you're starting to see results. And it may not be perfect. It probably isn't going to be perfect when you first get started, but you're going to see enough of a result that you're like, so if I tweak this, maybe I tweak the creative a little bit and I change my automated nurture emails. I change I've got I feel like if I switch these around a little bit, I might get a better result. But all in all, I'm okay with my results. But if I put $1,000 in, I'd get an even larger group of people that are seeing my ads. And I feel like I've I'm getting better at getting those to click, those impressions. I'm getting more of that audience to click on it. And then I'm definitely seeing some results on my nurture campaigns. I'm just going to tweak those a little bit to make them better. So spending $1,000 or adding $1,000 to my budget, it becomes a very easy decision to make because you've now seen some results. You've been evaluating the performance of the campaign. You you it becomes reliable. The results become reliable. So in doing that, it does make it very easy to justify spending more. What doesn't justify spending more is I've been getting poor results with my ads, and adding more money to that is not going to change that. Getting more people to see it uh, getting more people to see bad creative or ineffective creative is not going to change. With pay-per-click advertising, it is all about these numbers are scalable. So if five people are clicking on my ad now, and that's good, let's just say that that's good. Five is good. Then if I double my budget, I should get 10. Okay. So that's how you'd be evaluating, should I spend more? What are my expectations? Now, if I can double my budget and get 10, if I dialed into my creative a little bit and it's good, but I can make it better by, maybe changing out some images or having a different variety of ads choices so people don't just see the same ad over and over again, but it's the same message, same call to action. Um, then I can double my budget, but maybe I increase my leads by 150%. Just saying, that's how you can take something that's working, but make the results even better. So it's something that you're very, very engaged with. It is not something that you can set and forget, and I would just highly recommend that you do not. You want to make sure that you're engaged, and this is engaging in pay-per-click advertising is something that you can do ongoing if you've got the bandwidth to do it, or maybe you've got someone on your team, or you hire an agency to do this for you. You can have this going all the time, or you can just use it when you've got specific campaigns that you're running. Maybe you've got groups that you're promoting that have very special rates, that it's a no-brainer. Come travel with me for my St. Patrick's Day extravaganza tour. Uh, it's a no-brainer. So that would be something that you just do it from campaign to campaign. And maybe you only do one campaign a year. Maybe you put everything into that St. Patrick's Day trip, right? But you can do it like that, which makes it easy to manage, and it's a great way to get started if you're just getting started with this, to be focused on one campaign, one action, one itinerary that you're focused on, or one style of travel that you're focused in on, to try it just as a seasonal campaign or just for a specific period of time. That is a great way to get started. And then the ongoing stuff is when you feel more comfortable with it and you've got the bandwidth to truly manage it. Now, Erica, our director of member development, it has jumped into the chat. So or to the Q&A, and let's see what she said. I didn't know a lot about this topic. I've learned a ton today, of course, per the TM rule. It's all about the system. Yeah, everything is truly about a system. And this is just me telling the truth. I've been a marketer and a salesperson for a very long time. If you meet a marketer and they are beguiling you with their artistry, oh, it just flows from them. They're a font of fabulousness. Oh, wait a minute, that's a little bit close to home. No, if someone is talking about how they do marketing or how they can do it for you, and there is too much magic in the language, and believe me, sales and marketing people can be very bedazzling. They're like a siren who lured the ships to the rocks. Sorry, that is a very bad analogy. But if someone is talking in too much too flowery a language around marketing, then that makes me very suspect, because marketing is in sales is all about systems. It really is. It really is. It's systematic in the way that you talk about your business. Now, you can be a great storyteller, and every time you can tell the same story over and over again, and it can be a little bit different, right? It's got little different nuances each time you tell the story. But the best storytellers, the best comedians, think about it. they're telling the same stories over and over again. It's a system. So when someone is talking to you about marketing, what they can do for your business, and they're making it's like the Wizard of Oz. There's so much magic behind the curtain, right? That you would never be able to do this. Then that is somebody I would not trust because it truly is in everything that you look at with sales, it's about these systems and making them better, trying stories out. Erica and I have worked together now for a few years. We've known each other for longer, but I know, and I sit in her classes when she has her classes in our headquarters in Atlanta. Um, I will sit in there and she's teaching some of the same classes over and over again. And I will jump in, and I think she knows exactly when I'm going to interject. She hears the same stories over and over again, but I'm sure she can give me a TM on the fact that a lot of them she has heard before, but I will cater it to that audience. And while I'm not selling them something, in most cases I'm not, but I'm not selling them something, but I want to make sure that they understand. I want to make sure that they are learning something. And that's the same way you're looking at your future customers that are out there on the web. There is plenty of fish in the sea, right? Um, and you are teaching them something. You're teaching them about you. You want them to understand you. You don't want to be a mystery. This is not Sarah McLachlan and building a mystery. We're not building a mystery here. We are showing people the value that we provide. And also, in some cases, showing them the what does it look like to not work with you, and that's not showcasing horror stories. I'm not saying that, but many people, most people know what it's like to not work with you. They don't know what it's like to work with you, and that's what you want to show them because this is their current state. I've not worked with you. What could it look like if I did work with you? And that's why I say when you're creating content, whether it's for Instagram, even a happy Thanksgiving post, I'm going to get a little distracted here. So I follow a lot of travel agency owners, and holidays, you get the Thanksgiving messages, the Hanukkah messages, whatever the Christmas messages, you're getting the messages. Um, and I am so proud of the agencies who are making sure that they put those holiday posts out there. I think it's great. And I love when I can tell that they have used Canva to create their own graphics. So they've taken control. I don't need a graphic designer, although graphic designers are really helpful. I'm just saying they're not, maybe they don't have the budget to work with a graphic designer or a social media agency. So I'm very proud when I see them create a graphic in Canva using stock photos that you can get on Canva. I'm the most proud when I see someone create a video or take a personal photo and convey their holiday message, um, because that is, again, opening the doors and letting people see who you are. And you are what makes your business unique. So even in a holiday message, you can take it to that next level and let people see who you are, experience who you are. That is very, very attractive. In fact, the we have thousands of travel agency owners within our network of World Via Travel Network. And they're all at various different stages. Some of them have been doing it for decades. Some of them have been doing it for a few years. Some of them are just getting started. I hear some of some of our members talk about other members that they see on social media. And they're like, oh, so and so does such a great job on social media. I love their social media. Well, the recurring theme here is the people that they love that create social media content, the people that who they love are the ones that are creating those authentic posts. They're not overly done. They are, again, opening the door and showing the world who they are and attracting them into their world. So I think that's enough talking about being authentic through your content. But that will also work. Being authentic, creating that authentic content. And it's not easy. It's what is it? It's simple but not easy. It sounds very simple for me to say, just be authentic and create authentic content. It's not easy to do that because we tend to overthink the quality of the content. We feel like we need to be doing Walt Disney Company quality ads or social content in order to be of value as a company. No, no, no. You just have to get started. But that same content, so there's a huge trend in social media advertising right now. And I'm sure you've seen it. And especially as an agency owner, I'm sure you've seen it a lot because there's a lot of people marketing to you. But it's just a dude at a desk with a camera and he is saying, I'm going to help you get thousands of customers into your funnel right now, right? It cost him very little to create that content. It's a dude at a desk with a camera and a light, maybe a couple of lights. Anyway, it didn't cost him anything to create that, but people love interacting with people. And that is so much more effective than say he has like a CRM system or whatever. Just showing a picture of a phone with the CRM on it. Oh, my phone is dirty. Um, that is not as effective as dude with a camera looking at the camera. That is scroll stopping. So anyway, that's a trend. Now that I've said it, if you hadn't noticed it before, you're going to see it all over the place because they are looking for you. They are trying to find you for sure. So you will definitely see them. But everything that I talk about, it all interconnects. It's this knowing who your customer is, creating the content that is going to convert them, is going to allow them to truly understand what you do. If people don't understand what you do, you're being too vague. You need to be more, you got to tell more of the story. You've got to let them in. You got to have those ways to capture them through the calls to action. You've got to be able to nurture them with your email campaigns or maybe even phone follow-ups. I mean, let's go. You can definitely incorporate that into your nurture campaigns. But you've got to have these ecosystems, whether you're doing organic marketing content or you're doing the paid content. So lots to do there. All right, we are at the very tail end. I love, love, love to ask everyone who attends this live to share, is there one thing that I talked about today that you would implement in the next 7 days, or you can implement in the next 7 days? I'd love for you to drop that, the specific thing that you are going to do. And it might not necessarily have to do with pay-per-click campaigns. It might have something to do with something else, but just share what you might be taking action on in the next 7 days to really enhance your travel marketeering and ensure that you are getting better. Because you know what? If you're not growing, you're dying. And all of you should thrive. This is a fantastic industry. What we're selling is is amazing. Even if it's business, even if you're a travel management company and you're doing corporate travel, it's still the coolest industry to be in. I mean, we could be selling hammers. Or one of our team members, he used to work at a concrete company in marketing. Can you imagine marketing concrete? I, mm, I mean, you need it, but I'm just saying, this is a fun business and so, so rewarding. So we should all be thriving. And together we can thrive. And that is my cue to say, if you have not joined our private Facebook group, search Travel Marketeer in Facebook and join our group. You just have to say which session you watched. And if you want to watch any of the older sessions that we've done or past sessions we've done, search for Worldview Travel Network on Google and you will be able to find them. I did get a TM from Erica earlier. TM back at you. Daniela said, great advice. I need to get over my fear of being on video. LOL. Yes, Daniela, you need to, because I have met you so many times in person and you are fabulous. And you need to share that with the world. And it's the easiest thing. Hold on. It's the simplest thing to do. It's just not easy. So get out there, hit record, and publish. Robin said, use the template you provided. Oh, you know what? Let me drop that in. Those three links. The one is for that marketing template that I was talking about. And let's see, let's see. Oops, I keep hitting the wrong buttons here. Erica said, Danielle is fabulous, and I'm going to type in the links here for the campaign template as well as how to get to the Facebook and Google how-to. And if you're watching this on demand, I'm going to put this down in the description too in on YouTube so you guys can get to it there. Robin said, the only thing better than marketing concrete is watching it dry. A TM to that. And Raj said he's going to create a first draft email marketing strategy. So I love that. I love that. Email marketing, it is important. Do it. That's my advice. Love it, Raj. And then lastly, Danielle said, thank you for the compliment. I will definitely try to get over my fear. For this coming week, I'm going to create a landing page for my newsletter to gain more subscribers. Yes. And Daniela, make sure you put that landing page out on your socials to make sure that people can see it. Because even if they're following you, as Robin had said, just because they're following you doesn't mean that they are customers or could be future customers. But a great way to separate that group from the group that's interested in knowing more is by getting them to subscribe to your email list. All right, guys, I want to say a big thank you to everyone. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your weekend. And if you have any questions, email me, joshua@worldvia.com. Otherwise, I'll see you in our Travel Marketeer Facebook group. See you real soon. Bye.